know that what God is. Rule number 2, don't make the promise. If you can't keep the deal, then just be honest. I can never die, I'm Chuck Norris. Fuck the government and fuck
bran flakes. They're like 12 grams of fibre for the serving. Very good. Very good. Now that we've got that out of the way, I thought I'd first introduce you to how I've been getting on over the past sort of 3.5 weeks, give or take, of the first block of, well, training. I finished off on squats at like 130 for sets of 12 reps. Deadlifts, I think at one stage were 10 repetitions. So it was hard. Like it became tough last week. Really tough. But with that lower intensity, and I say it was hard, but it was sort of hard towards the end of the week and just because it was high reps. But the other aspects that were really positive were changing some technique on bench press, certainly. So like my grip and things, the overall setup that I normally sort of run has changed slightly just to aid performance overall. So the check of technique and things. And this week is taper week, so things are a little bit easier. We drop the amount of sets to 2 from 3 or 4 on last week. Repetitions come back down to where they were previously. Weight remains the same, and workouts are just, well, basically just a little bit easier. Nutrition it's been okay. I've not been tracking at the moment. I have been mindful of the amount of, say, protein that I'm consuming, so I'm hitting like 30 to 40 grams per meal, 4 to 5 meals a day. Drinking's been a bit higher. Certainly at weekends, I'm having some drinks with friends and things, so, alcohol, and then probably poorer choices around that as well. But fundamentally, I'm not necessarily in the need to be lean, and equally, I'm sitting around that sort of 86, 87 mark at the moment. Right, well, first of all, sorry for the dishevelled look that I have at the moment. It is 33 degrees outside in London at the moment, which is very, very hot. Very hot. Now, this is a video supposed to be about the difference between powerlifting and bodybuilding. So the first part, before I get to the gym and show you my workouts, is the equipment differences. So I'll talk you through all the stuff and what difference it might make in terms of whether I include it in bodybuilding or whether I don't, or whether I include it in powerlifting, that kind of thing. So the first item, one of the main items that I use, if I can get it out of my bag without breaking anything, is a belt. This is a 13mm lever belt. It is from the Strength Shop, and when I say 13mm, it's the legal. There's 2 different types. It's like a 10mm and a 10mm and a 13mm, and I use the 13mm because it tends to be a little bit more rigid, and you can brace against it a little bit harder, certainly from what I feel. And yeah, I like it. It's good. It's okay. I prefer the leather ones or the slightly stiffer ones. I do want to try the SBD version, which would be really cool, but it is 170 quid, and this was, I think, about 70. So this is a good purchase. I use this for bodybuilding, for squats, if I am doing squats and deadlifting, but I use this all the time for squats and deadlifts in powerlifting because it's part of the equipment that you can use, so you might as well use it, but I don't use it on bench. So that's one of the first major ones. Another one's chalk. I don't always use chalk in bodybuilding workouts, but certainly powerlifting, I use it on every lift actually. Gives confidence, takes the moisture out of your hands. You'd be amazing how much your grip improves by using chalk. Straps, I do use these in bodybuilding. I use Versa grips, an expensive piece of kit, but you'd be amazed at how old these are. They're like 10 years old. So they're well worth a purchase. The cheaper versions from like My Protein and things are absolute junk. The Velcro on them does not work anywhere near the same as these ones. I'd highly recommend you buy the expensive ones. They'll last you forever and they're brilliant. Obvious reasons you can't use these during powerlifting because you have to have a naked grip, if you will, or mixed grip or a hook grip. So I don't use these in bodybuilding, in powerlifting, sorry. The next one are lifting shoes. So this is another major purchase. These are, again, expensive. 100 odd quid, 150 quid or something for the Nike Romaleos. These are the 2 version, absolutely fantastic. Again, I've had these for a number of years, 6, 7, 8 years. They're still in very, very good condition, and they will because I never wear them outside. So I'd highly recommend you get a pair of these if you're looking to improve things like squats. I use these both on squat days on bodybuilding and powerlifting, just because I've got bad dorsal ankle flexion, and the rigidity and stiffness you get from these shoes is amazing. It's a really, it's like totally different experience squatting in these than it is in, say, trainers, for example. The other purchase that I do use on bodybuilding and powerlifting are wrist straps. You get different types of wrist straps, long ones and also quite stiff ones. These are Titan Support wrist straps, Signature Gold, something like that. Anyway, they are affiliated with the federation that I'm about to compete in the powerlifting, because equipment needs to be like obviously sanctioned and whatnot, and sponsors and all that kind of thing. But these are quite short, these ones, but they're very, very good. I really enjoyed them. I've used the how much you bench ones. They're also very good. But yeah, I use these on squat, bench, and I use it for bodybuilding and powerlifting, just for the main movements. If I'm doing like dumbbell presses and things, I don't use them. So they're kind of infrequent, but always used for powerlifting. Then we have these. I purchased these recently. These are legal knee sleeves through the IPF, which is the federation that I'm essentially going to be competing in later in the year. These are from the Strength Shop. I can't believe these are legal. They're really thick. They do help support and things, certainly within the squat, and I do enjoy using them, but they do help a lot more than I expected. But I don't use these during bodybuilding workouts. I might, but I never usually have, like on hat squats and stuff. But they're really nice, really comfortable, well worth using. But definitely wash them regularly, because they stink. I think I've got a training manual. Use it both for powerlifting and bodybuilding. There's one more thing. Hold on, just give me a second. The other thing that I really like are a very specific pair of shoes to be able to deadlift in. I purchased these again a number of years ago, and I don't typically wear them outside very often, but these are the CrossFit TRs, or Crosslight TRs. I don't think they make them anymore, but they've got like the high top version, but these were the low top version, and I bought them in America. These are incredible for deadlifting. Incredibly sticky, or kind of like grippy, flat base, which is nice and wide as well. I've thoroughly enjoyed using these. I only use them on deadlifts, really. Sometimes on bodybuilding days where I'm doing like hack squats and things, because I like to feel the plate that's in front of me. But these are fantastic. And that's it. Just making that video, I am absolutely sweating. I know I keep complaining it's too hot. Or I'm not complaining it's too hot, I'm just complaining it's hot. It's hot. I'm Scottish. Scottish people don't do this very well. We eat haggis, drink iron brew, and can survive in temperatures below 19 degrees. 33 doesn't work.
Yeah. You ready? Hey! Let's go! Back! Yo, once again I'm back around, real shit back in style, haters reconcile, I'm so black and proud, first class tickets now, feet all in the eye, everybody looking down, everybody get red when you drown, huh? Look at me up, I'm putting it down, you picking it up, checking the models, they want us to go to college just so we can be stuck, go to school to make a living, or teach yourself to make a fortune, common sense, welcome to the apocalypse, I'm one of the horsemen. I don't need your endorsement, I don't need reinforcement, giving you your last warning, cause I'm at my prime. Yeah. I'm at my...
Oh my god. Oh my god, it's so hot. Let's get the air conditioning on. Oh. It's like 32 degrees outside. Oh my word. Let off. Right, that'll do. Now, another difference between bodybuilding and powerlifting really comes down to specificity to a certain extent. So the closer I get to a powerlifting competition, the more specific I get with movements. Powerlifting does require you to get better at squatting, benching, and deadlifting, but bodybuilding doesn't. You're just trying to get bigger muscles. So that's really the difference. At the moment, there is some accessory work, and I will be including some bits and pieces that are not necessarily powerlifting, but there's not as much variety. Like, I don't really train arms very much, I'm not doing lateral raises, and I'm also not doing like machine work and things. It's all very much squat, bench, deadlift, and then maybe some upper back work, and that's about it, really. I think I'm gonna try and get home now because I'm sweating a lot, and people are probably looking at me filming myself in the car like a weirdo. There were a couple of things that I did neglect to mention. One of them are intensity loads. So when you're a bodybuilder, you're trying to get strong between sort of 5 to 12 repetitions, and you're trying to get stronger through that rep range. But as a powerlifter and a competitive powerlifter, you're trying to get as strong as possible for a 1 rep max. I will be going through probably lower rep ranges, so 10, 12s maybe being the highest that I'll go through, and then going all the way down to probably doubles and triples, and maybe even test sessions of singles. The other one might be even rest periods. So bicep curls, for example, and lateral raises and whatnot aren't exactly as taxing as, say, a deadlift. So rest periods are likely to be influenced based on how hard some of the compound movements that I'm using at the moment in powerlifting training. So I will be resting a bit longer for after deadlift sets versus maybe 60, 70, 90 seconds for things like bicep curls or lateral raises and things. So yeah, those were couple of things that I missed out. Where I now serve up dinner, my very lazy fashion of a microwave meal in a bowl still, and it's whatever. Anyway, nutrition from a bodybuilding and powerlifting perspective doesn't change too much. I'm not on a massive quest to gain muscle mass, so I'm not trying to be in a big surplus like I have been in previously. I'm still hitting protein targets, still doing those kind of things, and just kind of eating relatively sensibly. So the difference is that I don't, at the moment, during a powerlifting phase, I'm not necessarily trying to build muscle mass as such, or the target isn't there, so the surplus isn't necessarily there. I also don't have to go through extreme cuts that bodybuilders go through, where I might drop some weight towards the end of the year just to help me make that 83 kilogram category. So there isn't that much difference between bodybuilding and powerlifting. There's really just specificity. You know, squat, bench, and deadlift are the main things I need to be good at, and that's what I'm aiming for. I am sweating very hard tomorrow's supposed to be 39 degrees. I can't wait. Either way, I hope you've enjoyed this, another episode of the powerlifting vlog. I'm going to crack on with this, eat some dinner, and then get editing this and uploading it. Either way, hope you've had a great week and a great week ahead so far. I'm rambling, just saying things. See you in the next one.
Have I gone too far? Do you detect something different? If you look inside my head, would you say something's missing? If you could give all your riches just to say the word, would you risk it? These politicians so old, can't tell if they're dead or they living. Better ask Kathy Griffin. You know I like to raise stakes. We was always taught to hit the gas, we ain't even know they made brakes.